Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about what might just be the biggest economic shift of our lifetime. You see, AI isn't just another piece of tech. It's actively creating a brand new kind of wealth gap. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why the next 5 years are absolutely a critical deadline for your financial future. I know that's a pretty heavy statement, right? But it cuts right to the heart of what's happening. AI is this unique force. It is systematically channeling wealth to a very specific group of people. All the classic ways to get ahead, the stuff we were all taught. For those rules are being completely rewritten right now, as we speak. So what makes this wealth gap so different? Look, it's not just the same story of the rich getting richer. We are witnessing a fundamental change in how value is even created in our economy. And, more importantly, who gets to keep it. AI is hitting the accelerator on this whole process, and we're here to figure out what that means for you. Now, it's easy to think AI is the main character of a story, but it's really more of a great accelerator. It's basically pouring gasoline, not a fire, that actually started burning decades ago. And it all goes back to this economic trend called the Great Decoupling. So, what in the world is the Great Decoupling? Well, it's the exact moment in our history when the basic promising work started to break. You know, that old bargain, work harder, be more productive, and you'll get paid more. That deal just began to fall apart. And the data, well, it tells a pretty shocking story. Just look at these numbers since the 1980s. Productivity, how much stuff we're making per hour, has shot it by a whopping 81%. But during that same time, pay has only gone up by 30%. So you gotta ask yourself, where did all that extra value, that extra money go? It didn't go to the workers who created it. Went to the owners of the capital. The people who all the companies ever tours. And that gap, that's the crack in the foundation that we're dealing with today. So the Great Decoupling created that initial crack, right? Well, AI is coming in and turning that crack into a massive canyon. It's forcing our economy into what people are calling a K-shaped future. Just picture of the letter K. You've got one line shooting straight up and another one angle. Coming down, AI is pushing every single one of us onto one of those two paths. So, why a K-shape? It's because AI doesn't treat everyone the same. It's like a two-sided coin. For some people, it's been the most incredible tool for building, well, they could ever dream of. It's pure leverage. But for others, it's a direct and powerful competitor for their job. Where are you standing? The economy determines which side of that coin you're on. Let's break down those two paths, because this is really the heart of it. If you're an asset owner, meaning you own stocks, a business, maybe some real estate, AI is like a superpower. Imagine you own a small company, and you use AI to handle all your marketing and logistics. Your profits could absolutely explode. That's leverage. But if you're a wage earner, someone who trades their time and their skills for a paycheck, while AI is now your competition, and it can do a lot of tasks cheaper and faster, which puts a ton of downward pressure on your wages. And look, this isn't some far-off side-by trip. What we're talking? Checkup. This number. Some projections show that AI could wipe out up to half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. Think about that. For millions of people, those jobs were the very first step on the career ladder. And now, that ladder is starting with pretty shaky. Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, I get it. But here's the good news. Just understanding what's happening is the first, most crucial step when you can see a challenge. This clearly, the solution starts to become clear too. These next 5 years, they're our window to make a really important strategic shift in how we think about building wealth. Which leads to the most important question of all. Right, if the old rules of the game are out the window, where are the new rules? How do you make sure you end up on that upward path of the K and not the one heading down here? It is. This is new fundamental rule claimants have off the era of just working hard and relying on a paycheck to get ahead is over. In a world where AI can do the labor, real financial security is going to come from owning a piece of the system. The focus has to change from selling your time to only productive assets. So why the 5-year deadline? Why the big rush? It's all about what's called an early mover advantage. Right now, there's a window of opportunity to buy assets before AI makes them so valuable that the average percent can't afford them. That window is closing. Now is the moment to keep yourself in position before this wealth gap becomes chasm you can't cross. So let's get practical. What's the actual game plan? Well, it really boils down to a pretty straightforward 3-step strategy. Step 1 is all about your mindset. You have to accept that a salary by itself is no longer a safe bed for building wealth. Step 2 naturally follows. You have to make owning assets your number one financial goal, and step 3 is where the rubber meets the road. You actively start acquiring assets that AI is going to make more valuable, not replace. We're talking stocks in innovative companies are dollars, estate that generates income or a piece of a business. Because when you boil it all down, that's the choice we're all facing. AI is creating a future with more connectivity and wealth we've ever seen. And the defining question for you over these next 5 years is this: would be an owner of that future or just an employee working in it? The choice is yours.